Hey.
Doing
Hey.
Did you have a good holiday weekend?
Yeah, it's been a lot. We had such a good time over here. We broke windows. No, that's my kids. Yeah, there was a brawl. 5-year-old, 7-year-old. But anyway, 4th of July shenanigans. There's still fireworks over here going off. Are they going off over there with you?
I think everyone's using up all their ones they didn't use. They're like, oh, let's just keep setting these off. Let's do it. So yes, they're still going off here. I feel like that's everywhere.
Yeah. Like, okay. So yeah. It still feels like the weekend because every night there's, you got the fireworks going off. People are still, they're still grilling every day. I'm like, it's like almost like Groundhog Day,
Yes,
almost.
It is. It is. That's so funny. Yeah. I was away at the lake with my family and we got back late last night. So I was like, show prepping on a crunch about an hour ago. But I'm excited to talk to you, everyone out there. Welcome to the Hollywood Critics Association LongBox, where we connect the comics to the series / movies / whatever. We've got an exciting show today. Of course, we had Loki episode 4 that broke me. If you didn't watch my reaction, I literally stopped at a moment, and we'll talk about when we get further, but I said, I need a minute. And I just cried on camera for 5 minutes because I was live. So there was nothing I could do about it. And I was like, I need a minute because it broke me. And then we're going to talk a little bit more about Black Widow. It comes out on Friday. I'm excited for people to see this. I'm participating in something I'm not technically supposed to talk about yet with my local comic shop, which is going to be super fun. So I'll probably maybe bring a couple clips of that next week to show you and to show everyone out there. It's going to be fun. I'm excited about that. And then we're going to talk about Kevin Smith's Masters of the Universe Revelation. You've seen it, right? Have you watched it all?
Yeah. Actually, I watched it probably 3 times because my husband and son found out I had the screener, and it's been over since then.
Yeah, it's so we can't get into critical reviews yet, but I did attend the press junket for that, so that was exciting. So we've got some tidbits to talk about of that, and Joe even wrote an article for my site on there, which I'm really excited to talk about. We'll get into that when the time comes for sure. But yeah, first of all, I'm Tessa Smith with Mama's Geeky. You can find me everywhere at Mama's Geeky and also mamasgeeky.com. And where can everyone find you, Joe?
I'm Jonita Davis. You can find me at the Black Cape everywhere, Jonita L. Davis. Yeah, we did forget intros, didn't we?
I know, because we just start talking to each other. We do this a lot, I feel like. We just chit chat and then we're like, oh, this is me. I'm this person. Because we're so happy to see each other.
I know. It's so great. Yeah. I'm excited to dive in because Loki was a lot and I have questions.
It was a lot. I'm sure you have questions. I had tears, lots of them. I was broken. So I watch it live with my audience, okay, over here on YouTube at 9 a.m. Eastern time. That's what I do. I hit play. We watch it together. Obviously, I can't show it for copyright reasons, but, everyone hits play on Disney Plus and we talk about it. And so therefore, I avoid social media like the plague in the morning. I usually get up about 5 or 6 to work out and to start getting work done. And on Wednesday mornings, I can't go online because people spoil, especially Twitter. Twitter, people will just immediately here's the biggest thing that happened. Let me screenshot and talk about it. So I had no clue going into this what was going to happen. And great episode. My favorite episode, hands down. But then when Mobius gets pruned, I was like, oh, okay. That, I almost saw it coming because he was digging deep. And I'm like, you're going to get in trouble. And Renslayer is I love her, but she's taken a turn in my mind. I'm not a fan. And then at the end, and we'll talk about it in more detail, but when Loki, I did not see that coming. And that's when I started just sobbing. And I was like, I need a minute. And I took a second. But then we got that end credit scene and I'm like, okay, all right, now this is insane. And I'm so excited to talk about it. But what was your overall thoughts of the episode?
Okay, so I hate to be the cynical one, but when they pruned Loki, I was like, okay, are we jumping the shark here? Because this is called Loki. You just pruned Loki, and you can't have a Loki show without a Loki.
And there's 2 episodes left. It's not like it was the last episode.
So I was expecting shenanigans. I was expecting something weird. I was expecting things to come out of left field. Like all these characters that people were like, oh, these people need to appear in this one. I'm like, are they all going to just march in right now? What's going to happen? Yeah, I expected some weird parade. I don't know. I expected something weird to happen. I'm like, if we're killing off main characters,
I know
the world is going to go upside down. And what else can we do? And then the end credit scene was like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
I had a question about that. There's a black Loki.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, I know. Because he's like, I forget what he's called. I should have like gotten. Hold on. Let me see if I can get his like actual. Because he's called like he's just listen. There's like a million variants, but I think he's called Boast. If I just Google Boast Loki, I bet it shows up. Boastful Loki. There you go. It's Boastful Loki is his. I mean, this is insane. Like there's so many different variants. Oh my God. But let me tell you, I was so excited for me to see Kid Loki. Because haven't I been talking about Kid Loki like all along?
Yes, you have been. You have been.
And I don't know much about Boastful Loki. I don't know much about, I know Reptile Loki because Thor is a frog in his like, which is so funny.
So IGN did a whole thing of the Lokis.
Oh, they did? There you go. Perfect. See, they're on top of it.
Hilarious. So yeah, I can put the link in the chat if you want. So people can see it. Yeah,
that's good. So people can see it. Cause I was like, I know it's like Boast something. But man, it just, and to see classic Loki, I mean, that full on classic outfit of Loki's, I was like, oh, they are doing this. Like, this is crazy.
Yeah, it's actually happening. So I was just really shocked at it. Really, really shocked actually.
Yeah. I didn't ever think like, so when there was the talk of, is it Lady Loki or is it Natasha? Because, there was in those trailers, you couldn't really tell. It almost looked like Vormir. Is he there bringing Black Widow back? What the heck is going on? And everyone's like, no, it's going to be Lady Loki. They're just kind of making her blonde to like tease people because she's not blonde in the comics. So, they're doing all that sort of stuff. And then when I was like, are we getting Lady Loki? I thought to myself, what does this mean? We're going to get Kid Loki, who's one of my favorites because he joins up with the Guardians of the Galaxy. So of course that's why I adore him. I didn't think we were really ever going to get him. So to see him, I was so excited.
So do you think they'll do something with them? I mean, they were all sitting there posed like for their family portrait.
They were. I know. He's holding the alligator. It's like holding the pet, like the dog, Yeah. I think it's going to be a big deal. And I think this is where we're getting President Loki, which is really exciting because I do love President Loki, but I like that it's going to be a variant. I feel like it's probably going to be a variant. It's not going to be this main Loki, which is exciting. I think they're going to say like, I think this is where everything that's pruned goes, which means there's hope for Mobius. I don't think Mobius is dead. I think Mobius is in this like trash land or wherever they are.
So do you think there's like different Mobiuses?
I don't know. Do you know what I heard?
I don't know what you call it, but anyway,
do you know? Okay, this is crazy. I was like searching wacky Loki theories because I had nothing else to do. We had a 6-hour drive to the lake, so I'm like, let's search all these what people think is happening. There's a fair amount of people out there that think Mobius is a Loki variant.
Oh, that's why they get along so well.
I'm kind of okay with that if that comes, if that happens.
It actually makes sense.
Isn't that an interesting theory?
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, there's a lot for my head to wrap around, but also
I know. I'm like in my brain trying to.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, let me come out. So
how crazy would that be?
It works though. It works.
It does. And you would never see it coming because it's not from the comic. Like that doesn't happen in the comics. So it's like a little tidbit they just throw in there for like, I just want him to get a jet ski. All I want is Mobius on a jet ski. That's literally what he's talking about as he gets pruned. I'm like, poor Mobius.
Yeah. So I think this week we're going to find him somewhere
in
his other world on a jet ski. He's probably not going to want to come back.
Well, then just let him hang out on a jet ski and be happy. I'd be sad, but I just want him happy.
Yeah, he's been through a lot. What about Renslayer?
Man,
Evil herself.
See, so I loved her from the beginning. We talked about her. Her and Hunter B-15 were like two of my favorite characters. And I was like, why are you going to do that to your friend? She's literally like, a friendship like ours is so rare. Let me just prune you. Like, what the heck, lady?
I mean, if that's what she does to her friends.
I don't want to be her friend.
Right.
But I will say also, Hunter B-15 crushed it in this episode. When she shows up with that, like at the end there when they're with the timekeepers and she's just ready to go, I was like, oh, I love you so much. I love her.
Took a second to, get her like on board, but when she was on board, she's like, let's go. Let's go. So I'm hoping she remains like a prominent character because I love her.
Me too.
Especially after hearing the news about Lovecraft Country not coming back.
Yeah, that's crazy, isn't it?
About that.
That was like shocking to me. I still haven't watched it because it's one my husband wanted to watch with me. So anything my husband wants to watch with me, I'm sure you understand, ends up getting somehow pushed down the line forever. And it was also like, we want to wait till it's over so we can binge it. Right. I was given screeners like in the screening room, but he was like, I really want to binge it all and let's wait. And now I'm like, I've always expected it to come back because of the way everyone talked about it. So now I'm like sad to like start it knowing it's not going to get a second season is going to be a little hard. You know?
I'm hoping because they've, excuse me, from what I've understand, they've shot either all or most of the second season.
Really?
So I'm hoping that they get picked up elsewhere. Now that's the rumor I heard. A rumor I heard is they've shot a lot of the second season or even all of it.
Well, especially when you have such a great response like they did, you just kind of assume, I guess, that you're getting it,
Yeah. But then no. The theory is that, the studio thought it was going to be too controversial.
Come on.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Don't they want people to talk about stuff? People talk about controversial stuff.
Yes, but it's like, your average kindergarten teacher, you can talk, but with your inside voices and sitting down at your desk and not eating glue like the person next to you. So you got to be calm and cool when you talk about these things. They don't want anybody excited. But I'm like, if we don't get excited about anything, we're not going to want to watch it. I mean, if I'm not excited about it, it puts me to sleep.
Yeah, right.
I'll just tell you that.
It's true though. Yeah.
I'm like, just instantly I'm just out. So, and if no one talks about it, no one gets passionate about it, no one's going to be there. So, yeah. I mean, just like Loki, they just kind of knocked us out with all these these like, I don't know, that you can't even say they're being killed because they're not being killed.
I know.
Transported somewhere else. Maybe
that's the thing. And I guess I'm hoping I'm sure there's 2 episodes left. They're going to start this next episode off with like in this trash world or whatever you want to call it is my guess. They might even start with Mobius, like waking up there, or they're going to show us Loki with his like band of Lokis. That's the coolest thing, by the way. A whole bunch of Lokis is like my favorite. And I'm interested to see where they go. I think they're going to take them to President Loki. Now, I did see a theory. We know the timekeepers now are not real. They're robots. Someone's controlling them. That part was crazy. And so who do we think it is? I don't know. It could be Kang. I see a lot of people talking about Kang. I don't know if they're going to introduce him in the show. If anything, they'd introduce him very briefly in the show because I think we know he's going to be the big bad of Ant-Man Quantumanium. So I can't imagine they do too much with him in this. You know what I mean? So we'll have to see. But I saw another theory because, again, I was looking at theories. There's some people think that it's a Loki variant that's behind it all. and he's just trying to get rid of all the other Lokis, to be the ultimate Loki.
Getting rid of all the Lokis so he can be the only Loki.
Feels on brand.
It does.
I don't know if that's it. I feel like that's a little crazy, but I wouldn't be surprised either.
Okay, so you've got me like thinking, right? And so that means that the final battle is going to be a bunch of Lokis fighting each other, and we won't know which one is the real one.
That's so possible. I could see them doing that, and I could see it actually working. Just because Loki, well, it's Kevin Feige, first of all, but it is so weird, and I'm so curious as to what is gonna happen. I don't know. That's why I was just reading a bunch of theories. I'm like, usually I have some kind of idea that I feel like is a solid theory for Loki. I got nothing. I don't know what they're gonna do. You know what I mean? It's been so wild.
Yeah.
A blast.
I don't know. I tried to look around myself just to see if there's anything in the comics, and I don't.
There's not really.
The story's new, isn't it?
Yeah.
This is a new story. Yeah, because I try to see. Okay, so if they're following along with some comics somewhere, there'll be a storyline. You can kind of look ahead and predict a little bit. Yeah. But there's no storyline. This is like new stuff, I think.
It's like, pretty much new stuff. I mean, there's a TVA, but it's not like this. They're very minimal. You don't see them much at all. And they're mostly chasing Kang, which I think is why because Kang messes with time. So, and also the fact that we know we're getting Kang, I think that's why a lot of people automatically go, oh, is it going to be Kang? And it definitely could be. That's a great way to introduce him for the Ant-Man. I mean, I don't know, though. It's just, there's not enough to like predict it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and there's 2 episodes. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, there's 2 episodes. It's not like there's one more and they're going to sort of tie it up, but also leave you going like, what? Or there's not enough episodes where you feel like, oh, there's like 6 episodes left. Who knows what's going to happen? It's like there's 2 left. I feel like they should be coming to a head here at some point. House of L Comics says this is the only Marvel show that he somewhat has enjoyed.
Yeah, that's my husband.
That's my husband too.
And he's no, that is actually my husband, House of L.
Oh, that is your husband.
Yeah.
Well, I was like, that's what my husband says too. Well, there you go. So look, our husbands are on the same page.
Thing. Yeah, he's a total DC nut. Your tattoos, your Marvel tattoos, he has the DC.
Gotcha. Yeah.
So yeah. And we've been back and forth because he didn't like WandaVision.
That's my husband hated it.
That was almost a divorce. So he didn't like WandaVision. He went Falcon and Winter Soldier. He liked parts of it, but not the whole thing. And then this one is the only one. He's like, oh, meh, it's good. Maybe. I'm like, you know what? I'm not asking you anymore.
I know. My husband was the same way. WandaVision, he was like, what? This whole point of it was that she's sad? Great. I'm like, there's so much more than that. Stop. Don't say that. He's like, and they called her a name we all knew eventually was going to be her name. I'm like, shush. It was amazing. Like, be quiet. Yeah. And then Falcon and the Winter Soldier, he's like, yeah, it felt like a Marvel movie that was maybe too long. Like, they could have cut it down and made it a movie. And I'm like, whatever. Shut your mouth. And this one, he's like, all right, he's into it. But he's also like, I got to see where it's going. Like, he's like the type of person, he wants to see how it's wrapped up before he makes his opinion on the full season. Yeah.
So it's frustrating.
It's crazy because I have no clue where it's, I have no idea what they're going to do.
I kind of like that. And so, one of my questions I have is, so you have Renslayer. She has this history with Kid Loki, right? Not Kid Loki, with Sylvie as a kid.
Correct, because she
okay, but we don't see where they go or what they do. Okay, I think there's something up with her and Sylvie.
You do.
Something happened. Yes, there's something.
Because she took Sylvie out of her like timeline, right? The one thing I'm confused about is why they she asks her, what was the Nexus event that made you come get me? And she's like, I don't remember. And I'm like, oh, Renslayer, you remember? Don't you? You know she remembers. Like, she's obviously been thinking about Sylvie for this many years. I'm wondering if there's multiple times where she's come across her, but I don't know, because then in the elevator she was like, do you remember me? And she's like, yeah, I remember you. So I don't know if they haven't seen each other since she was a kid and she ran off, because Renslayer's the one who like arrested her and brought her before the judge, right? And then Sylvie got away.
Right.
So for Renslayer, was it always like the one that got away? I'm so mad. But like, what was the event that made them have to arrest her? Just her being a girl? And if it was just her being a girl and Loki wasn't supposed to be a girl, wouldn't they have shown up like the second she was born, not when she's like 6 or 8 or however old she probably was?
Yeah.
So what happened?
What did she do? And I was thinking, okay, Renslayer is she's like management now, right?
I think, yeah, right.
Okay. You let a variant get away. That's a pretty big deal.
And they still moved her up.
A promotion and you let a variant get away. Now, what did you do? I think she did something or said something or lied about something, because she got rid of Sylvie pretty fast too.
Yeah, she did. Yeah, maybe. That's a good theory. There's got to be something that we're not seeing between those two, like some connection that they haven't given us yet.
And she knows that the variants are not made by the TVA. She knows that they're not she knows they're variants. Have background. Right. Yeah, she knows that they have memories. She knows, because when Mobius like stepped to her about that, she's just like, mind your business type of, the answers. Like, I'm like, I expected her to be shocked, thinking, okay, we all got duped by the TVA. And she's like looking at him like,
do you think she? Oh my gosh! Do you think this is just coming to me now? Do you think she knew that the timekeepers were just like androids?
Okay, so I just want to say the timekeepers remind me of the Chuck E. Cheese rat.
They do.
In his band. And so I'm wondering if maybe she is the one controlling everything. Because she knows too much. She wasn't even surprised about them being androids, I don't think. She had to have known.
She had to have known, right?
So I'm thinking maybe she's a Loki.
Yeah, maybe. Now she's in the comics a little bit, but I don't know. I haven't. Let me look real quick. I wanted to research, but everyone said this is her prequel.
This is her prequel?
This is like a prequel to her. Like, so she's this like, because she works with Kang. And that's why I think.
She works with Kang.
So maybe like Kang. Terminatrix is her name, by the way.
Terminatrix?
Yeah. Ravonna Renslayer leads many lives. As ambassador, she defends her people. As a corpuscle, she awaits to be revived. As a pirate and time traveler, she seeks revenge.
She's a pirate?
I guess.
Did you say pirate?
It says pirate. This is on the official Marvel site that I'm looking at right now. Born a princess in the 40th century, Ravonna Renslayer is at first an ambassador to her people in the kingdom of Carolius. After an encounter with the all-powerful, self-important Kang the Conqueror, her life changes forever. See, so maybe... Listen to this. So he liked her, and she rejects him and calls him a commoner. Ooh. Oh boy. This is getting crazy. See, I'm gonna have to look up what these comics are, because I like read a quick little synopsis way back when like it was first said that Renslayer was in this, but like I never went back and actually read the comics. You know what I mean? I need to find out what they're in. Listen to this. She also has an encounter with She-Hulk.
Okay. So since the movie's coming out, I've been trying to suss out what the She-Hulk movie is going to be. That's why, all the rumors and stuff. With her in there now, we have to really look that up. Okay. So let me see. Let's see if we can find all the Renslayer comics and binge them this week to see what I can find about her.
Yeah, we're going to have to we'll come back and tell you guys what to read when we find out exactly what to read, but I know I'm going to start diving into it. I knew she kind of had I just knew she was I don't want to say associated with is the word, associated with Kang. but I didn't want to know too much going into this because, you know, you try to like, I want to still be surprised. But now I'm like, I need to know what's going on. I'm getting fed up. I can't.
Pirate. I cannot believe it.
Crazy.
I have a thing for pirates. I love pirates.
Listen. Oh, and she's got the Grandmaster revived her. So, which is, you know, Jeff Goldblum's character there. So,
yeah.
Reveals to her Kang won and chose death to his enemies as the Avengers. Oh my gosh. Okay. I need to dig deeper. But yeah.
So, everybody. Okay. All right, we need it. We need to do like a deep dive on her. I thought that she was gonna be like a minor side person.
Me too.
But I should have known better. Yeah.
We should have known. Anyone that they make you think is a side person is apparently the biggest, most important person in the whole
side
thing,
person.
So. Thanks, Marvel.
She's got an outfit that looks like a corn cob, though.
Yeah, I know it is. It's you can tell she's an older character, right? Because like that hair and everything, you're like, what is going on?
Looks like a corn cob. Yeah. And she's got, and you know, then there's an even older one with her with a cape and a bathing suit on.
I mean,
and she's even got the pointed boobs. That's like 50s or 40s, isn't it?
Like, it is. It's gotta be
pointed, like
yes. Like, sure, this is what a woman looks like. Why not?
Yeah.
Oh gosh.
Yeah, so she's been around forever. Oh my goodness.
Okay.
1963
looks like when you go down to the bottom. That was like one of her first appearances. 1963, 1967. And then jumps to 1993. So very interesting. Okay.
I think 41 appearances. Avengers, Fantastic Four. Man, she's in a little bit of everything, isn't she? Captain America, Thor.
Makes sense.
Dark Hawk comics. She's like into everybody. She's one of her own. She's been in everybody's comic but her own.
Listen, well, maybe after this.
Maybe.
Because
sounds like a badass.
I know. She's going to be one of those love to hate people. Well, she already is. You know, like I loved her at first. And now I'm like, you literally pruned your friend in front of Loki. Poor Loki broke his heart after they finally like got along and decided to be friends. So I'm really excited to see where this goes. And Kang could definitely be a part of this. If she has ties to Kang.
Who knows?
Maybe it is her and Kang behind all this.
Yeah, maybe. Okay. So last question. Are we concerned about Loki loving himself so much? Because that's a little creepy.
It's a little creepy at first. I was like, what is this, like some self-love thing? Okay. But then I'm like, this feels very on brand for Loki because he is a narcissist. So if he's going to fall in love with anyone,
it'll be himself.
It's going to be himself, right? Does that not feel on brand?
Yeah, it does. It just was really creepy. And I'm like, okay, no, he can't have a crush on Sylvie. He can't. And it's like, oh, he likes. Oh, okay. But then, yeah, I guess it would be on brand that he would be in love with himself.
It is. And the weird part is like, what would happen if you get like married, like your in-laws or your parents? Like that's weird.
And your chromosomes and your like DNA would be like,
yeah, your DNA would
like be like cloning yourself, right?
It's very weird. Yeah. Right? I imagine their DNA has got to be very similar, except of course she's a female and he's male. But other than that,
yeah,
that was crazy. Oh, real quick side note, completely off topic, but not really off topic, but we got to see Lady Siff back in this. That was super exciting. What I love about that is when in the comics, when Loki takes becomes a female, becomes Lady Loki, it's because he takes the body that was made for Lady Siff. So to be reincarnated into that body, whatever. So I thought that was kind of fun that it was Lady Siff that they brought in there, but I feel like that was also a little nod towards the comics. Like, hey, the only reason Lady Loki existed at first is because he took the body that was going to be born as Lady Siff. So I thought that was like a fun person to put in there. Because it could have been a scene with his brother or, you know, it could have been a different scene that he had to relive over and over. But to make it a Siff one was a good one, I thought.
Yeah.
That was a nice little nod.
Maybe his mom or something, but yeah. Yeah, I like seeing that one. And seeing him finally break down, get emotional.
I know.
You know, because I don't think he's been like genuinely like remorseful for some of the stuff he's done until now.
Yeah. And now he's like really realizing
it. Crotch several times, you know, to do it. But you know.
funny when he just like she just kept doing it. I was like, oh no. He'd like give her this whole long speech. Oh, it's not gonna happen. Oh no. Okay. Oh, poor Loki. All right.
She didn't care. She didn't care. She's got one mission, and that's all it is.
It's funny. What? Oh, a comment, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, Louise. I mean, it's true. See?
Okay. So yeah. So what are we expecting next week? What are we expecting?
Okay.
I want to hear what you're expecting because I don't know where this is going to go. Okay. So I want to know.
I don't know. I think we're going to see Mobius again. I hope. Whether he's in trash land, maybe he's in a Mobius land. I don't know. Like maybe Loki goes to where all the other Loki goes. I think we're going to get an explanation of where they actually are when they get pruned, right? Mm-hmm. Like what new reality, I suppose, of their own that they're in. I think we're going to see President Loki because it's been a while. And we saw him in like, I think the first trailer they showed him. So I'm definitely waiting for that to see when we're going to see that. Although that could be the Loki that's behind it because the clip they show, this is just coming to me now, in the trailer, he's standing like this and he goes, what did you expect? And I could almost see that as it being like, that was him behind it all, right? Like, what did you expect? Of course it was me. Yeah. I don't know. But I'm hoping we see him in this episode. I'm hoping we get to see what Sylvie did to have Renslayer show up, that little piece that I feel like we're missing between the two of them. I hope we get, although they might save that for the finale. I just want to see all these Lokis working together for like a really long time. Like, I don't want them to be in there for like 5 seconds. Hey, here's where we're taking you to. Okay, bye. Like, I want to see him hang around. You know what I mean? Like, follow us. Okay, see you. Bye. Like, I want to be here I want at least a solid half hour of all of them. I really do.
Yeah, and then sprinkle them with back into the MCU so that we can every once in a while we'll see Lizard Loki or something pop up. That'll be great.
Exactly.
Lizard Loki with the pig Spider-Man.
Yes, there you go.
There you go.
Perfect. What do you think? Do you have any idea at all, or what do you want to see?
I want Mobius to come back. I really do. I like the idea of if he's a Loki. If he's a Loki, I want him to be a Loki now. I do.
I know. After I read that, I thought the same thing. I'm like, I'm going to be ruined. If he's not, I'm going to be mad.
That would be great though, because it's like they got along so well. I want to see where the Hunter and Sylvie, where they're going and what they're doing. Yeah. Because I think that they've got a mission that's really important. And it has something to do with that original why Sylvie was taken and where she's been all this time. I mean, she's a kid who's been living in apocalypses all of her life.
That's crazy.
I mean, we know that that's what messed her up, but how did she know to do that?
Yeah. Unless she's just super. I mean, she is a Loki.
She is a Loki. She's super smart, but I think she's got somebody helping her too.
She's got to, right? You think it's Renslayer?
Or had somebody. Oh my gosh, what if Renslayer was helping her when she was a child?
Maybe.
Just to keep her away so she can cover up the fact that, she ran
got
away.
A promotion and
then get the promotion. Yeah. Yeah. Then she's like, okay, I got this loose end out here. I need to go get her.
Maybe. Oh man, could be.
She made up the split ends on the timeline just to go after her. I don't know.
It's all so crazy. There's so many things that it could be. I guess we'll have to find out tomorrow.
Yeah.
What this next episode holds, and then we'll talk about it next week, and we'll give all our predictions for the finale. But man. They're going to mess us up again. I know it.
They are. They're going to have you crying on the floor and me just sitting there like catatonic, like, what?
Yeah. Oh, my gosh. You should see my reaction. I don't know if you watched it, but I was a mess. I had a hard time editing it because I was like, I'm full on ugly crying. I don't want to leave this up here. But then I did because I felt like there was nowhere to really cut it. That like, it's like, oh, there I am.
Let it happen. It shows how big of a fan you are.
I know, but I got a lot of comments like, why are you crying? What's wrong with you? I'm emotional. Okay. I was not expecting it.
It was an emotional moment. It was, and they had the music build up. So that's one thing I love about Marvel is, their music is like put to where it like manipulates your emotions before you even know what's happening.
Yeah.
Really good at that.
It's true. And then they destroy you.
Yeah, you knew that something was going to happen that was going to devastate you.
I thought he was going to kiss her and she was going to like reject him. That's really what I thought was going to happen.
Not with that music. It had to be worse. It had to be worse.
Well, I was optimistic. I was being optimistic at the time.
Yeah, I knew something was going to happen. It was going to be terrible because the music was bad. It was like that horrible, not really heartbreak, but you're going to be a puddle in the floor music. So, yeah, it's like a cue. So anyway, I can't wait to see it.
I can't wait to see it either. I'm excited. But speaking of things can't wait to see, we both already saw it, but Black Widow comes out on Friday. I am so curious because we're split in our thoughts. Kind of. We agree about a lot of stuff in the middle, but I'm curious how people are going to react to this. I think it's going to be a very mediocre response. I don't know. What do you think?
I think there's going to be a lot of people disappointed. I think people have hyped this movie up. Looking at some of the chats and things that I've seen, they want a lot more out of this movie than it's going to give them, I think. And I think it's because the same way reason why I think it's kind of meh is because we've seen WandaVision, we've seen Falcon Winter Soldier, we've seen what they've done with Loki. We're expecting big things out of this, and it's not going to happen. Yeah. There's potential, but it's not going to happen.
I know. I think it's going to be a very, one thing that really gets me, and we cannot get into detail because it's full spoiler, but we will. I have seen so many people excited for Taskmaster like I was. And I want to be like, it's going to make you very mad. That's all I want to tell you people. Like, Taskmaster is so not used well. It's one of the best villains in the comics, and Taskmaster did not live up to the potential, the hype. There's a couple of cool fight scenes. Yes. Of course there is. It's Marvel. They know what they're doing when it comes to that stuff. But the story about it is infuriating. And I can't wait to talk about it next week where we can actually I can voice my anger. But I've seen a lot of people be like, yeah, but I'm just super excited to see Taskmaster in a movie. And I'm like, no, please don't be. Don't let that be your high expectations for this.
Please find something else to look forward to, please.
Right. Yay, Natasha you can't even really look forward to Natasha gets her own movie. And then she's a side character in it. I mean, she does have some great scenes, but she does. But she's not the main character.
You have to tell people that, because I think that's one thing that got me at the beginning, is because I was expecting this to be her movie. Mm-hmm. No.
Right. Yes, she's in it a lot, but it's a setup for the future. This is being used to show the future, and we all know she's not in it. So don't sit here with your high hopes. People are like, oh, maybe they found a way to bring her back. First of all, not in this movie, because it takes place after Civil War and before Infinity War.
Yeah.
So no, maybe eventually they'll find a way to bring her back, but boy, I hope they don't, because it will make her death way less impactful. And there's, next week, I can't wait to talk. I can't wait to talk next week, because there's I want to talk about the end credit scene, which I don't think we should say literally any words about, except I can't wait to talk about that end credit scene next week, because there's a lot of setup for that too. But
looking at the comics, Wonder Woman all over again. Yes. Wonder Woman. Yes.
Yep. That's exactly it. Good movie. Yes. It's a Marvel movie. It's fun. It's action packed. It's full of adrenaline. There's some fantastic action scenes. You do get some great moments of heart. It's definitely a movie about family. 100%. Yeah, it's definitely funny. Red Guardian has some great one-liners, and his interaction and his relationship with Melina is hilarious. Really enjoy seeing that. Hopefully we see more of him.
The two of them, their relationship is wow. Wow.
But you get this much of it. You know what I mean?
I know. We need I think, okay, so if this were going to be a Black Widow movie, I think we needed more of that family.
Yes.
We needed more of them. So even if so we know that Natasha's side character, fine. Take us to Yelena and the rest of them while she was doing her Avenger thing.
Right.
Let me have that.
We might get that eventually.
Her parents are hilarious. And
I know.
They her mom and what she does to the dad, I'm like that is so something that, you know, I just, you know.
Yeah. We'll definitely we'll talk about it next week.
No, I can't say.
I'd wait till next week. I'd wait till next week just because some people, I think it'd be fine, but some people might get a little. We'll wait till next week. We'll talk about it next week. But
it's hilarious. Yeah.
There's so much. That's the thing. It's a great movie. Yes, it really is a great movie, but it's a mediocre Marvel movie. That's how you got to put it. If you're ranking it with the other Marvel movies, we've gotten so many incredible Marvel movies that this sits very much in the middle of the pack for me. And I'm not the only one, because I know a lot of people, I talked to them about their rankings. Like I did a ranking and it's number 15 for me. And that's including the shows, right? You throw the shows in, but it's very much in the middle. It's a good movie. I mean, I gave it a 3.5 out of 5. I still enjoyed it. That's a 7 out of 10 if you think about it. But it didn't live up to the hype, you know?
Yeah.
Well, so that's funny because I'm going on Friday night. I know because I'm going on Friday night for a local event. That's a thing I'll talk about next week. But which I'm excited about. But I asked my husband, I said, you and the girls want to come? And he's like, I've seen it. I'm like, yeah, but have you seen it in theaters? I'm excited to get the theater experience because I do think that'll elevate a lot of the action, honestly. And I'm excited to see how the audience reacts. So I'll come back and let you know that too.
See, I'm all about audience. That's one thing I've hated about the pandemic and the digital screeners. I love getting the audience reaction because that kind of plays into my review as well.
Of course.
So yeah, I haven't put my review out either because when I'm doing a review that's kind of mediocre to bad, I don't like to put it out opening until after the film opens.
Makes sense.
I mean, a bunch of hardworking people worked on this. Is their art. I don't want to bomb it and right before, unless it's something like, okay, you really need to not go here.
Like Cats.
That was, oh my God, yes. So yes. Unless it's something like that, then I don't really, I like to wait to put my review out. But I think seeing it in theaters may help it. But otherwise, I'm just like,
I'm very curious to see it with a group of people. And it's something put on by my local comic shop. So it's going to be all comic book nerds that are going to be there. So I'm very excited to see the like vibe of the theater. You know what I mean? So like, I'm excited. I'm excited to feel it because I think it's going to make a world of difference. I really do. So, and I've seen it 4, 5, maybe even 6 times already. A lot of times I've rewatched, especially bits and pieces because I've pulled out certain things or I wanted to watch certain moments again, but it never it got better, I guess, but it never got like that Marvel. And I think it's all Taskmaster. Taskmaster ruined this movie for me. I really, truly think that's my biggest issue.
They needed another villain in this one.
Because then there's that other villain who's like kind of, but I don't want to talk like super spoilery, but there wasn't like a villain, like a big bad Ultron. Right. You know what I mean?
Right. Like, they needed something like that, something huge, something bigger.
I don't know. They've just
anything else. Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't know. I'm excited to see it in the theater Friday night and see what happens and how everyone feels about it. And when we talk spoilers, I'll let you know, about how everyone reacted in the theater.
Yeah. Then I'll just start blabbing everything,
You'll be like, here's my problems. Blah, 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 blah. And I'll just be like, Taskmaster. Let me talk about Taskmaster for 15 minutes.
Yeah. That'll be it. So,
but I see Movie Fan has his tickets. Is very excited. So I'm excited. I'm excited for people to see, but I'm very interested because I think it's going to be I think it's going to be a love it or a medium. I don't know that people are going to hate it, but they might. I don't know.
I'm saying adjust your expectations.
Yes, there you go. That's a great way to go.
Adjust them.
If I had seen this when it was supposed to come out, I think I would have liked it a lot more. If I had seen it before WandaVision and Loki and Falcon and the Winter Soldier, I think it wouldn't have felt like such a step backwards.
Yes, I will say that. I will say that. Yeah, and I'll agree with that. Yes, and I think that was my problem. Is just seeing all the rest of that happened, and it's like, oh, okay, yeah.
Right. I think the ones coming forward are going to be great. You know, we've got Eternals coming up. We've got, I always pronounce it wrong, Shang-Chi or Shang-Chi. I don't know how to pronounce it right. Because again, it's one of those names, you read it for so long and then you're like, I can't pronounce this word, like Thanos, I don't know. You know, but I think those are going to be really good movies. I'm excited for those going forward. I think Black Widow was just almost too little too late for her.
Yeah. Yeah, she should have came out in January. And I know they were waiting for a theatrical experience, but maybe this was not the one.
Yeah. I know. It stinks.
Because of the timeline thing. The timeline thing is huge. I don't know how they didn't think that it was that important.
I think they tried and they tried and they tried and then they said, forget it. We can't. I think they really wanted it to come out before WandaVision and before Falcon and before Loki, but I don't know. I think Marvel was the one probably that just really didn't want their stuff to be released on Disney Plus, which I get. I do get that. It's Marvel. It's action. But you got to take other stuff into consideration.
You do.
So,
oh my gosh.
I mean, they could always do a release in theaters later, you know, like watch on Disney Plus and in 6 months we'll release it to theaters for a month. Okay, great. Perfect. Should have done that. But it's too late.
Yeah.
Oh, well. Yeah. All right. Well, we've got like 10 minutes left. We can talk a little bit about Masters of the Universe Revelation.
Yes. That comes out.
It doesn't come out till like I want to say it's like the 23rd.
Yeah, 23rd, I'm thinking.
Even later.
I was thinking that it came out sooner for some reason. I guess that was like one of the early dates they had or something.
Yes.
I don't know, but because I'm like, this was supposed to have been out around the 4th, but I think that was just an early date they had. Everything's been moved around.
It is the 23rd. Yep, the 23rd. It comes to Netflix, part 1. So it's 5 episodes. And then there's a part 2, which I think is another 5 episodes.
Yeah.
And that is coming out, but we don't know when that's coming out.
Right. It's coming out soon, some point. I think people are going to be surprised at the He-Man screen time. Can I say that?
Yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. So the thing that I loved about this is because we brought it up during the junket, and I'm trying to think of how it was worded, because that's like the best way to word it. But this really is the story. I mean, Teela is the main character, and it's her story. A little bit of her story, a lot of bit of her story. But He-Man's quite involved too. I mean, it's a bigger depth there, right? Because there's a lot of flashbacks. There's a lot of revisiting certain moments and certain things that had happened. So I really liked it. But what I really enjoyed was the junket, talking about like so many people just diving into what drew them to this. Like Kevin Smith even said, whenever he approached anybody about stuff, it was like, He-Man was a huge part of my life. Yeah, I want to be a part of this, you know? And so many people, there's so many reasons, just so many different reasons why people wanted to be a part of this. And a lot of it had to do like with their childhood. And I kind of love that. Like, because then it becomes a passion project for everyone involved. You know what I mean? And I think that's when you just get a better product that way. Yeah.
Yeah. Because everybody's passionate about it. You do your best work when you're passionate. I mean, so I think that, you know, with the stars that he had line up for this one, voicing everything, it's like you can tell he had no problem getting anybody.
I know, you know. Mark Hamill. I mean, come on.
Yeah, and He-Man. I mean, in the 80s, it was pretty much the cartoon. You know, one of the biggest.
Yeah.
I was into it. You know, with my brothers, and then we actually. My dad got us the toys. So I remember having the Cringer. You know, all those toys are worth like a mint right now. But I think everybody remembers playing with the toys. Everybody remembers playing with, watching the cartoons. And yeah, I really liked it. And I did the piece for Mom is Geeky about Tony Todd talking about, where he gets the fear he projects for Scareglow. Yeah. First of all, can I just say that I'm like shocked that he said it in that junket with you guys, because I'm just
he just said it like it was like no, like he didn't even think about it. You know what I mean? Like you could tell it wasn't a like, do I go this route? It was like that. Like his question, he didn't even have to think about his answer, and he was not afraid to put it out there, which I love, by the way.
Yeah. I mean, and it was great. It was really, really great. And I just and I'm glad you came to me and wanted me to write about it, because it was like the perfect topic. I'm like, yeah, I know where to come from with this.
Right. I was like, I would love to write about this quote from him because it's amazing, but like I can't write about it would literally be like factual. I would have to be like, this is what he said. This is because I can't channel that, obviously, So I'm like, I know you can do this, and you can take this and just make it something amazing. And it's an absolutely incredible piece. And I'm so thankful to have it on my site, but like,
thanks.
Of course.
But yeah, I'm glad he actually said that, because I think there's a lot of Black kids that watch this, and there was like, I want to say there was only like one Black character for a while, wasn't there?
Well,
and he wasn't even that big of a deal, wasn't he?
Because
I don't even remember much about him.
Scareglow wasn't even. He was just he was an action figure, and I think he was in the comic. I don't think he was even in the show. So.
No, he came, or he was in like one of the later reboots.
Maybe, reboot. Maybe, yeah.
Yeah. And so, you got, I mean, this is all about representation. And what Tony Todd said was, growing up a Black kid in America, you learn a lot about fear, or, he put it something like that. And, and so, and he's right. It's true. And then, but you're watching, this comic was big with Black kids, but it was nothing but white people in it. Mm-hmm. White people and the creatures of Eternia.
Right. Even Tiffany Smith, her character, who's a Black woman in the new one, she was just in like one comic book issue, and she was never in the show too. And she's a main character in this show. Mm-hmm. So it's a lot I'm glad they did that.
Yeah.
I think she's a great character too. I'm like, how is she born out of like, she's in one issue? Mm-hmm. You would never know.
Yeah. This I love this because it like rights a wrong. First of all, centering the women, you're acknowledging that you had all these girls that loved the show, that came to watch it, and that were as faithful as the guys were. We love the stories too.
Right, we weren't watching it just for She-Ra. Like we were watching it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I mean, I kind of was, but
you're like maybe most of it, but still.
But I did love all the other stories, Mm-hmm. I did love all this other stories, and I watched with my brothers, and I did steal my brother's Cringer and, play with them, and may have thrown him in a pond. But, anyway, my brother's not watching, so I'm not in trouble or anything. But
he's like, that's where it went.
Yes. So anybody wants an old Cringer, it's at the bottom of a pond in Arkansas.
Probably worth going to dig up, to be perfectly honest with you.
Probably. It's been like encased in mud. It's probably in like great condition. Yeah, right. Once you wash it up. But you have us and actually, okay, so then when they did the She-Ra spinoff, I didn't like it.
Yeah. Because it was too focused on trying to be for girls.
It was too girly. I'm like, no, give us the He-Man version. So I think, okay, back to my point. I think it's almost like righting a wrong with this one. You've got the diverse characters. You've got, the storylines are even, smart. And then you got, the women. You got the women, and they're just as kick-ass as the men. Yep. And they're not trying to be girly or teach girly lessons and,
exactly.
Be ladies.
In their design, they're actually, Kevin Smith talked about it in our interview. They're designed to be more muscular. Like they look like what a warrior woman would look like. They're not like a tiny little stick figure with big boobs. It's like, look at me, I'm fighting. Like they look like women,
Yeah. I mean, have you ever looked at how like top heavy She-Ra was? I mean, she looked like she was, I mean,
You're like, you wouldn't be able to fight out in a battle. Like, what are you doing?
Right. I mean, just any of the women, it's like, what are you? It's like nothing. You're nothing.
Yeah, I know. So I love that they did that on purpose with the main characters. They designed them to look like, oh, this woman is someone who's been training in battle all her life, and now she's like, obviously, she's gonna be muscular. She's a
freaking Amazon. Make her one.
Exactly.
You know? So yeah, I think that that this one, it was righting a wrong, and I really loved it. And I think my kids, my husband have watched the screener, and I'm so sorry, Netflix, to admit this, but they've watched the screener probably about 6 or 7 more times than I have, and I've only seen it once through.
It's good. I've watched it 3 times through now, and I'm going to watch it again before it comes out, because I'm going to save I started to write a review, and I thought I have till, I think it's the 21st that review embargo breaks, like full critical review embargo breaks. So I was like, I'm going to watch it again, like right before, and really like channel, get into it. But I want to that's the thing about, I love to watch it all the way through and then watch it through knowing what's going to happen. And then I feel like you pick up on more, and I just really enjoy it. So.
Yeah. Looking at a picture of She-Ra right now, she's got this huge sword and these little flimsy arms.
Right, exactly. She's like, look at me, I can carry this thing. Like, it's
right.
Crazy.
It's like, how? But yeah, that's what I plan to do, is watching it through one another time myself. But
yeah,
Netflix, have you seen that every weekend it's been playing?
That's good though. That's so good. I love that. And I can't wait to really dive into it with you. We'll talk about it again. Actually, since that embargo breaks on we'll talk about it that week that it's coming out. But even honestly, the next week is when we'll probably really dive into it after it's out, so we can talk about spoilery stuff. Because there's a lot of stuff that goes down, and there's a lot of conversations that can be had around them, I think. A lot.
Yeah. Yes. So, this is not your, this is your He-Man that you had when you were a kid.
Yes. But it's
better.
And it's righting wrongs, like you said.
Yes.
But that's one thing Kevin Smith said. Oh, sorry. You finished.
No, I was going to say, it's one you can watch with your kids. So,
yes.
Yeah, go for it.
Well, Kevin Smith had said, we didn't want to do this and have you everyone be like, wait, everything I knew about He-Man is a lie. Like, they've completely changed everything. No, he's like, this is the He-Man.
Mm-hmm.
We're not saying none of this stuff happened. Like, it's very much, this episode is meant to literally be the next episode in the original series. Like, this could come immediately after the end, and it's not retconning anything, which I love about it.
Well, and I think a lot of people, this frustrates me too, as a comic, cartoon fan. People think that, you have to retcon the entire story.
Yeah.
To write and you really don't. You really don't. You just have to acknowledge it. Right. If you acknowledge, that the things that were wrong about the original, and then keep moving, so like Frozen 2, do the next right thing, acknowledge what you did, and then do the next right thing. So that's basically, I can't believe I'm quoting Frozen, but you basically, that's what you do though. You acknowledge the wrong, and then you do the next thing that's right.
Exactly.
So we don't have to retcon a whole damn series. You just need to just be better. Right.
Just do better. That's a great way to end the show. That's absolutely perfect. I can't wait to dive more into it, because there's a whole lot I want to talk about with you between that and Black Widow. And I can't wait to see where Loki goes. So next week we'll be back. We'll be talking more spoilers with Black Widow. We're going to obviously be talking more about whatever however Marvel decides to rip our hearts out this week. And I'm excited for it. But we are not the only show here. So yes, join us next Tuesday at 11 a.m. here on the Hollywood Critics Association YouTube channel. But what else can they check out here?
I wasn't prepared for that.
That was a good.
Yeah. While I'm getting this up, do you want to talk about our guests this month?
Oh, did we talk about them last week? So we've got Jimmy and Amanda, right? They're coming on to talk about Harley Quinn, mainly Suicide Squad. I'm excited for that. They're coming up, and then also Batwing, right? Isn't it? Didn't he come up with Batwing? He made Batwing, right?
Yes.
That's crazy.
That's the LongBox Batwing.
20th. That's the 20th, right? And then on the 27th, we have Gio from Willy's Wonderland. He's the screenwriter of Willy's Wonderland. They're going to do a prequel comic. So he's going to be talking all about that, which is going to be a lot of fun. We'll really dive into that and talk about the connection to the movie, because it's it's going to be the prequel. So I'm excited about that. So those are our guests. And then we've also got someone, I did see he wrote back, but we have to just lock him in for a date. So I'm excited.
Yes. So, and you're right. We're not the only show on this channel. Come back on Mondays for the Pop Council, hosted by Jamie Philbrook and Wendy Lee Zaney. Trending in Hollywood Fridays, hosted by Scott Menzel and Dimitri Panos. What to Stream Thursdays, hosted by Morgan Rojas and Lupe Rodriguez Haas. And Horrifically Horrifying, hosted by Heather Wixon and Kevin Taft.
Yeah, lots and lots and lots of great stuff here. So if you guys haven't already subscribed, make sure you do that and hit the notification bell so you don't have to remember when everything is on. It'll just give you a notification that we're live and you can come join. Or, of course, you can always watch back later. I know I do that a lot. If I'm not around, I'll just watch it back later. All the shows are fantastic. So, but today was fun. Again, I'm Tessa Smith, and you can find me everywhere at Mama's Geeky.
I'm Jonita Davis, and you can find me everywhere at The Black Cape.
All right, guys. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you next week to talk like why I hated Taskmaster in Black Widow. That's going to be the main topic conversation. Let me go for hours. It'll be fun. All right.